Okay, so what I'm about to show you may be a little overkill, but I've fallen in love with it. And you can absolutely go to the store and you can buy soil, get a healthy soil. That's easy to do. So there's the easy path. But if you want to really get nitty gritty and get your hands in it, this is something that Annette and I launched this business a few years ago. And the business didn't do so great, but along the way, we learned a lot about making a soil. We would make these batches of soil. This expert farmer was helping us. We'd send them off to the lab, and the lab would tell us if it was high in this, low in this. And our goal was we want the highest yielding, highest germination rate, and really something called the highest bricks ratio soil, which is really how they measure the nutrient, really the sugar density. So your food's gonna taste better, it's gonna be more disease resistant, a whole bunch of different things. So I'm gonna show you that recipe. You're gonna be able to download that recipe as well. And we're actually gonna do this one in our garden bed because we're about to plant here. This is perfect though as you're starting seeds. So
you don't have to do a whole bed of it.
Yeah, you don't have to do a whole bed of it. We take some of these things and we amend our beds with these different ingredients, and I try and do them pretty evenly, so I feel like I've put the recipe into the top layer of the soil so that as we're about to plant everything, it's good. But this is the ideal seed starting mix so that you can put it in your kitchen, in your window, in your greenhouse, wherever, and I believe you'll have a higher yield. This last year, I decided to not make this and give another one a try. Somebody said, you gotta go buy this soil. And I'm totally not impressed with it. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's basically just a few ingredients. Peat moss, which is here. And I'll just start with it, I'll walk through them. Okay. So the peat moss, you can do a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm just gonna dump it out here so you can see.
You said a 12 quart here, so
yeah.
That's about what you're doing?
So I'm trying to do something approximate to the recipe, yeah. So 12 quarts of peat moss, it's like grind up logs, right? Nothing much there.
I just stuck my hands in that and I didn't realize what it was.
What is it?
It's poop.
This is a pile of poop.
It is.
So in an ideal world, I'm convinced worm castings, worm poop, is the best type of compost fertilizer. But this here, we have on our own farm here, we have a compost bin, and this is the poop of the donkeys and the alpacas.
Mostly alpacas.
Mostly alpacas. It breaks down, it's not a hot manure, and it's pretty awesome. So you can see this stuff's broken down pretty good.
So 12 quart, a big thing of that?
So I try and do it like a 1-to-1 ratio of, I'm gonna get my hands in the poop. 1-to-1 of the peat moss to the compost manure, if you will.
Okay, we got
and then what do we got?
Gypsum.
Gypsum. We're gonna put some gypsum. You're just gonna sprinkle this around. And you imagine, usually I do this in a wheelbarrow, and I'm just mixing it all the time. But you get the idea. As you continue to mix it, it's gonna continue to get more and more perfect mixture.
You've got molasses.
Molasses.
This is for?
So this, I'm a big believer, this feeds the bacteria in the soil. This is like their energy. You know, little kids love sugar. Well, guess what? Bacteria love sugar too. So molasses, and I prefer the dry molasses. You can use liquid, mix it in and mix it in, but I prefer the dry molasses.
Alfalfa.
It's easier to mix. And then you got some alfalfa. This gives you some of your nitrogen.
Kelp.
And then this is a little more alfalfa. And then we got some kelp. So this basically is kelp from the ocean. This has tons of minerals and nutrients in it. And this is where your food, that bricks ratio, the healthiness of your plants, like everything goes up mixing this right here. I'm a big fan of that.
BioChar.
Last is something called BioChar. And BioChar, this is an inoculated BioChar, basically more things to cause the bacteria in the soil to go wild, to think they're partying all day long, in order to give us amazing, delicious food. So that's kind of an idea. And then you're basically just gonna mix all that in. And I'll just give you an idea, like as you start to mix all that in, you saw in the beginning with the peat moss.
You're doing very nicely.
But you start to get a much better soil. And you plant in that, and it stays airy, which is nice. And as it stays airy, that's where your seeds get started really well. So there's a little bit of our soil recipe.